Breaking news from the music show newsroom. We have another live interview with a composer. Everybody, please welcome Mr. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Mr. Mozart, thank you for joining us today.
Danke. Great to be here.
Now, you have quite an interesting name. Can you explain it to us?
Yeah, my real name is Johannes Chrysostomus Wolfgangus Theopolis Mozart, but you can call me Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart for short.
Thanks for clearing that up. Now, where were you born, Mr. Mozart?
I was born on January 27th in 1756 in beautiful Salzburg, Austria, to my father, Leopold Mozart, who was a successful composer and violinist. As you can see, I have quite the legacy to live up to.
Now, a lot of people that we interview on this show started playing music at a very early age. Is that true for you as well?
My sister Maria and I were tutored by our father, and by age 6 we went on our first European tour, even playing for royalty themselves. Take that, Doja Cat.
A European tour? Wow, you must have met some pretty interesting people.
I met many great people, dukes, duchesses, the cutest German shepherd puppies in Berlin. But most important to me was Johann Christian Bach, son of the great Johann Sebastian Bach. When I met him, I became more interested in composing.
And what instruments do you play?
I played many instruments such as violin, viola, piano, and organ.
Great. Can you talk to us about your first job?
Oh, nothing major. My first 9 to 5 was leading a small orchestra in Salzburg. That gave me enough time to work on my composing, where I wrote many violin concertos, and eventually I turned my attention to piano, and by 21, I wrote my famous Concerto No. 9 in E-flat major. Now that was nothing minor.
Mr. Mozart, what is a concerto?
A concerto is a piece of music where there is a solo performer on a specific instrument and it's backed by an orchestra. For example, a flute concerto, you can tell, is going to have a flute solo.
Thanks for clearing that up for us. Now, I hear you're pretty good friends with Mr. Joseph Haydn. Can you talk to us about your relationship?
Oh yeah, Haydn and I go way back. We used to hang out all the time in Austria. He was somewhat of an older brother to me. I even dedicated 6 string quartet compositions to him. He is one of my very best friends, and I am so glad to have known him. String quartets, by the way, are music compositions for 4 string players.
Now, Haydn was also a composer. Do you have any favorite pieces by him?
Oh, there are many examples. I love his opera L'Infedeltà de Lucia, his string quartet in D major, and his trumpet concerto is simply divine.
Thank you. How many pieces have you written, Mr. Mozart?
I wrote around 600 pieces. It's not much compared to my predecessors, but it's honest work. I'm not one to self-promote, though I'd say Magic Flute is some of my best.
Magic Flute. Now that's an interesting name. Where does the name come from?
Oh, but that would be spoiling the entire opera. You'd have to see it in order to know what it means. I'll send you some tickets next time it's on show. But given the current circumstances, you can look it up sometime.
Thank you for that. I'll definitely take you up on that offer. Now, Mr. Mozart, late in your career, you started writing a piece called Requiem Mass in D minor, but you never finished it. Why is that?
Yeah, I know, I never finished it. I need to let the creative juices flow, you know? I just need a little more time. It will come out soon, I promise.
Now, Mr. Mozart, how are you spending your days in quarantine?
I spend my time gazing at the beautiful Austrian Alps and riding my Peloton bicycle. I know it's a little bit out of my price range, but every once in a while you must treat yourself.
That sounds beautiful, Mr. Mozart. Now, one final question. We ask this of everybody we interview on this show. What's your favorite song these days?
These days I've been listening to a lot of kids pop. My favorite one so far is Uptown Funk.
I love that song also. It's just so funky. Mr. Mozart, thank you so much for joining us today on The Music Show.
Danke for having me. Auf Wiedersehen.